buying cars with cash versus financing them versus using something that's known in Australia at the very least as novated leasing. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm Dimitri and this is Value Cars Australia, and this video is a direct continuation of my previous one where I was tossing up the options of buying a more established brand car versus keeping this GWM Chinese made vehicle and talking to you about depreciation and especially how much it hurts when you bought the car for your hard-earned cash. So today, without pretending to be a financial expert, I'm not a financial advisor, I'm not a taxation expert. Let's be very, very clear. That's not what I do. I'm just simply offering you for what it's worth. Do your own research, encouraged, but I'm going to offer you a simplified understanding of my own plus my own experience with all of these methods of which one is which and how to best go about it. Yeah, does it sound like something that you can benefit from? Well, then keep watching, give me a like while you're there, why not? And let me start by talking to you about the obvious elephant in the room. Me, the traditional boy, and a lot of my ethnic friends, we buy stuff with cash. We like to own the asset outright, such as, I don't know, a phone or let's say a car in this particular case. We like to pay for it with cash so that it's a done deal, and the biggest benefit naturally is that you get what you paid for, quite literally. Whether it's a used vehicle or whether it's a brand new one, I bought far too many vehicles for hard cash. You would not believe, especially if you're one of the smarter ones, okay? I bought a lot of my vehicles for hard cash, okay? And the benefit is that you own this. You can do whatever you want with this. From the moment when you paid, it is your name on the papers. You can sell it, you can gift it, you can crash it, you can do whatever you want with it. The problem, obviously, is that all of the costs associated with running the car is as well as dealing with the depreciation, dealing with the loss of value over time. It's also on you. There is absolutely nothing that you can do about it. Another massive problem is that, well, obviously you are limited by the amount of cash that you have, and you may have more, but how much are you willing to just simply take out of your pocket and put into someone else's to get this depreciating asset? That's why I can't even believe that I've been doing it for so long. I'm still sort of just fuming about that, and I'm angry at myself about this. When does it make sense? It makes sense probably when it's a very good deal and when you need to complete the transaction quickly and there is no time to secure any leases, and when you have loose cash, so to speak, when you know you're going to benefit from it, and when you're buying something that has been already heavily discounted. Say this Haval H6 that I'm sitting in, it depreciated massively, it lost quite a lot of its original value straight away, yet the car is in mint condition and it's still almost new. It's under 10,000 kilometers on the clock, so you could get it for hard cash for your kids, for something else. And being a Great Wall Motor vehicle, yes, it's Chinese origin, but it will still run for the next 15 years and not even have any issues. No one can, I suppose, forecast that and guarantee that, but it's a very high likelihood. So that's buying stuff with cash. Enough said. Cash is cash, right? Financing is a tricky one and it confuses people. Well, first of all, and the most appealing thing, if you don't have the money right now to get the chunk of 50 grand and put it on the table to buy something, yeah, you would work with the financing company, or you would go to the dealership and the dealership will hook you up, so to speak, and for a little bit of extra interest, yeah, you're basically borrowing a loan. It's a loan that what you're doing, yeah, except a smaller loan than you would get from a bank on a house. You still need to have a decent credit rating to get a decent percentage, I suppose, on that interest rate, and that is where a lot of it is in that percentage that you're seeing on the screen, because it's about how much more the car will eventually cost you over time. How much more does it actually truly cost? Yeah. Financing usually is limited to not the full duration until you pay out the car, like it is with the mortgage over 30 years. It is a much shorter thing. It is something like 3, 4, 5 years typically. Over that period of time, people will help you out. There are a multitude of calculators. You will know how much you will have to pay for that loan, essentially for that car that they will give you per week or per month, however often you want to pay for this. Benefits of it? Well, you don't have the money, but you want a car. You can have a loan and you can have the car straight away as long as you don't have bad credit rating. It's very, very, very simple. Negatives are numerous. numerous negatives. Well, essentially you are putting yourself more in debt. You are already might have a mortgage and you're putting yourself more in debt. Yeah, you have extra repayment per month or per week that is ticking there, and that is accumulating, and over time you're paying even more so for this car. Not 50,000, but let me speculate, let's say 60,000. I don't know, I'm not doing the math here in my head. Additionally to that, the car is still in your name, and that is a benefit, so you still own that asset. However, it depreciates just like it would depreciate under any other circumstances. It still is a depreciating asset. It still is an aging asset, so to speak. However, there is a tiny caveat here which is great. It is that the financing companies, they usually also tell you that at the end of your loan, they will already calculate, and something like Toyota, they will even straight away when you buy a new vehicle and arrange a finance, they will tell you that at the end of that lease term, at the end of that 5 years, let's say you took it for 5 years, they will tell you a guaranteed residual value of that vehicle that then they can tell you straight away. So say you're buying a car for 50 grand, they will tell you that in 5 years it will be worth 25 in our opinion. So the good thing is that you hold on to this car, it's your own asset, you're paying for it as a loan, yeah, you're paying them, and at the end of these 5 years, they say to you, okay, if you would like to keep this vehicle, give us 25,000. And you take a look on the market and you think, oh, I have a Toyota, it's a 5-year-old Toyota in mint condition. Certainly it will cost more, I'm speculating here, but it will cost more to sell privately than $25,000. So you sell it for $35,000, you give 25 back to the financing company, and $10,000 are yours. That's a benefit. That's a benefit. However, like I said, it impacts your cash flow directly. You get charged after tax, you get paid by your employer, you get taxed on it, and then you need to have normal living expenses, your mortgage perhaps payments, as well as this car loan. So it's heavy. It's financially heavy for you, yeah? But it has its clear benefits. It is your asset, you can sell it for more, you can make a little bit of money on it at the end of the day, you know? Not many people know about it, not many people think about it, but that's definitely a positive, it's definitely a plus. And yeah, that's how finance generally works. So your interest, the interest rate that you would pay on that finance is what you are most interested to play with. And that is impacted not by you being nice to the dealer, not by you negotiating harder, but by your credit rating, because it's all done automatically. They put your details in, and just because of how their company runs, it will tell you how much it can offer you as far as that little percentage, all important percentage of the interest rate will be on your screen. Now, Novated Leasing, once again, I'm highlighting again that I'm not a specialist, and I will tell you just my best understanding, and I welcome, as always, a better, more succinct, hopefully, more simplified, if I'm wrong, explanation for all of our audiences from any of you in the comments down below. Please feel free to edit. Novated Leasing is also pluses and minuses to it, but it's another smart system that at least exists in Australia. And if you are in permanent employment, and typically if you have been in that permanent employment for, let's say, over a year, you will have no problems to get approval from your human resources to apply for Novated Leasing. Usually your company is partnered with some Novated Leasing company. It's not your own company, it's another company that basically is a partnership. And you can contact that company and say to them, I would like to buy a Toyota for $50,000, but I don't have $50,000, so can I please do it through you and put that against my tax. What that means is that they do the same financing of the loan, similar thing of what I just described to you with the financing, just a normal finance, yeah? But they also shake hands with your HR and say, can we deduct from this person's salary certain amount per month and transfer it through our systems before tax gets deducted. So ultimately, they will package, it's called salary packaging, yeah? So they salary package it in such a way that a certain amount of that salary is reserved and taken out of your salary pre-tax, before the tax, let's say $15,000 per year. And within those $15,000 per year are the repayments of your loan on the car that they bought for you, as well as petrol, as well as registration, as well as mandatory CTP green slip, as well as in some cases some other on-road costs and change of tires, some other kind of things are usually packaged into that nice little deal. All of those expenses can be taken before tax. And they even give you, a lot of companies anyway, they even give you a special credit card looking thing that you can pay with for petrol, for other kind of things as you go along. And all that gets fed back into the system and charged before tax. So at the end of the day, the companies, your employer as well as the Novated Leasing company, at the end of the day, they run the spreadsheets and they basically say, this is how much we're charging them before tax for the car. And also they had these expenses associated with the car. Let's put it also before tax. So taxable income of this person over the month, over the year, is less. In Australia, as in any other country, there are taxation brackets. If you are under, so there are multiple taxation brackets, but if you are under $180,000 in Australia in 2023. Again, don't quote me on that, do your own research. But if you're under 180, then you are taxed at 37%, if I'm not mistaken. If you have 1 cent over $180,000 per year, if you're lucky enough to be well off, reasonably well off anyway, but no one is rich in this country because of how expensive everything is, housing mainly. Then you get suddenly there is a massive leap in that taxation, and you get taxed at the rate of 45%, which I'm sure you would agree is a lot when you look at those kind of magnitude of numbers. So the idea here is that when you buy your car through Novated Leasing and not just direct financing and certainly not cash, then you are reducing your taxable income legally in the eyes of the taxation office. So at the end of the day, you are charged less tax. There you go, my friends. Hopefully to some people who are completely brand new to this, it helps a little bit to clarify what's the difference between the three methods. Well, cash is the most obvious one. And what are the benefits of each? Let's talk now about the Novated Leasing. I explained the mechanism, I hope accurately enough. Again, feel free to always correct me in the description, in the comments below if you're a specialist. But what are the benefits? Benefits are, again, you don't have the money and you would like to get the new car, boom, you can get the new car. You would like to reduce the tax and pay less tax, boom, you can pay less tax. Fantastic, yes? The negatives are similar, I suppose, to a few others in the financing, is the fact that it affects your cash flow. You still take home less cash in hand. So that is something you need to be very comfortable with before you start budgeting on food. And also you don't own this asset either. You have to return the car. You have to return the car to the Novated Leasing company at the end of your lease term. 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Or you have to buy it out from them, which again is going to be that residual value, which in this case may not be guaranteed. That's not like example Toyota Finance, who will tell you exactly how much you owe them. I am not sure if Novated Leasing companies do that. At least I'm pretty sure not all of them would. So that's a bit of an uncertainty, a bit of a negative, because it's not your car. It's their car registered in your name. You are leasing it from them. But they take care of a lot of expenses. They take care of CTP green slip, they take care of radio. So some of this stuff you get for free and some of this stuff you get pre-tax. So do your own research, do your own math, if it pans out better for you than owning the thing outright and paying for everything from your own wallet. Once again, I do hope that I clarified something, especially for those of you who are maybe new to these concepts and maybe didn't consider, but maybe I broke through to you by explaining it simpler. If I did, give me a quick like and subscribe for more. I'm not a financial expert. I am just a car enthusiast in Australia. Goodbye for now. Talk to you next time.